Hello, everyone. I am streaming now from the arena. It is definitely post-game cleanup time. I texted Alexis, but it is awfully late, and I don't know if she is going to make it or not, so you may just have me tonight. Credence is here. Denise is here. I'll give you a few minutes to get in. I know y'all are happy this evening, this late evening, Monday evening. Lots of people rolling in. Deb is here, and Joan's here, and Don is here, and Rachel is here. Hello, everyone. I don't know if Alexis is going to make it. I sent her a text, but it is awfully late, and I'm not sure what she is up to right now. So, like I said, you may just have me. I'm going to let everybody roll in. And welcome everybody. Michael Seabrook said, "Hey Maria, what a dang game." That is a way to describe it. Credence said, "What a crowd." That is about 7,000 here, and that was one of the loudest crowds I've heard here in a long time. That crowd came alive in the third quarter to help Tennessee wipe out that 13-point deficit, and then really carried them over the top in the fourth quarter to get that lead back and then go into overtime. The crowd can't make a huge difference. It was loud. You could not hear yourself thinking here, and when a team is tired, and Tennessee had to be tired. I mean, players went 37 minutes, 39 minutes, 40 minutes, 35 minutes. The crowd will give you a little bit more. You can dig just a little bit deeper with a crowd like that behind you. Trina's here. Don McCord said, "What a game. They elevated their level of play." Michael said, "Yes, the crowd was booming the entire game." That was an incredible crowd. For those that weren't here, like Joan said, I was yelling while in Florida. Thank you, Joan. And I'm sure if you had the game on TV, you could certainly hear this crowd. Valerie Harris had lots of fight in this game. Trina said that game wore me out. I think a lot of people felt that way, trying to survive that one. Tennessee, They don't give up. You got to give them that. Even against that loss last week to Auburn, they came back. They got in that game, just couldn't close it out in that fourth quarter. But they really dug as deep as a team can deep this evening. Michael said Ray was Ray of old in the second half. I agree. Ray settled down, played her game instead of trying to force anything. Or Ray sometimes wants to do so much to help that she gets herself off balance and doesn't do Ray things that she can do. And that you're right. That fourth quarter, she turned into the Ray that everybody knows Ray can be, playing it with poise, under control, just aggressive to the basket, aggressive on the glass. That is exactly the kind of game Ray can excel at. A shout out to Sarah Puckett. She went 35 minutes tonight, played a big role, got all over the glass. Sarah Puckett ended up with 10 points and 10 rebounds. So Sarah Puckett played her heart out. I want to shout out Tess Darby, too. The stats may not. If you look at this box score in the morning, you're going to see, 3 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. Tess Darby had some of the most heads-up plays tonight that I've seen a sophomore have. The way she delivered the ball a couple times, deflections on defense, scramble for the ball, trying to pick it up, and she got it to Horston. Can't say enough about Jordan Walker on that scramble play where she got the ball to Ray Burrell for that three. It may have been the biggest three in the game when Ray Burrell hit that three. I think that one was in overtime. So just a complete team win, which is what you want. It's hard. You got to wait till Monday after losing on Thursday. Like Kelly said yesterday, that was a long 3 days. And, I mean, this game could have gone either way. I mean, Arkansas was in total control in that third quarter with a 13-point lead. Nobody's been able to stop them at the Arc. I mean, they won 4 out of their last 5 SEC games, and then, of course, lost this one in overtime by just 3 points, 86-83. Arkansas is a problem from the Arc. I mean, Amber Ramirez, my goodness. As Kelly said, you can't shut her down. You just got to hope that you wear her out a little bit and she misses at some point. She had 29 points. Arkansas took 43 pointers. That is the most 3-pointers I've seen attempted in a game in a long time. They hit 12 of them. So they had Tennessee hit 7. So Arkansas had a 15-point advantage in 3-point shots. So Tennessee had to make that points up elsewhere. Second chance points, Tennessee 27-6. The difference in the game was Tennessee all over the offensive glass. As usual, 21 offensive rebounds, even without Kean Green, because of the efforts of Sarah Puckett to get on the glass, the guards to get on the glass. Tennessee won the rebounding battle 60-40. So I'm going to look at some of the comments now. Renee said, I wish we could get a decent crew of refs from time to time. This crew was not one of them. Amen to that. I was glad I was wearing a mask on press row so you could not read my lips at some of the things I was saying behind that mask. Caroline said that was a great win. Very gritty. That's a perfect word, Caroline. I agree. Absolutely gritty win. You had to find another gear and another drop of effort that you weren't even sure you had in a game like that, because the players on both sides were getting tired. Michelle said, I scared my poor dog screaming. I bet the pets have to suffer through basketball season. That all of mine do too. Sometimes they just look at me like, oh, we'll leave the room now. Kathy said she stood all through the fourth quarter in overtime. There you go, Kathy. That's how you react as a fan. You stood the entire time. I want to applaud your effort. Let's applaud Kathy's effort this evening. Mark said, look like Ray is getting her mojo back. Love the way Buckets runs the floor. Yes, Sarah just a freshman, but she's going to do what she needs to do. We asked her what Kelly told her, and she said that Kelly pulled her over and said, I need you to play defense. And Sarah just said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So Sarah gave give your all for Tennessee. Sarah Puckett did that tonight. Julie said our defense turned the game around and we killed them on the boards. I agree. Tennessee got back to its identity on defense, which is get in a stance and just Jordan Walker. I mean, I know Amber Ramirez scored 29 points, but towards the end of the game, that fourth quarter, especially in overtime, Jordan Walker had to check her, and she stuck to her like Velcro. She made sure Amber was not going to get an easy shot. Now, Amber can create a shot too. She doesn't just rely on the arc, but Jordan Walker just fought through screens and fought to stay with her. Let's see. Michael Seabrook said she had a big steal. I think you're talking about Tess. I'm not sure, but she did. Greg Corbett said Tess was amazing. Credence said, how about getting Edie? Yes, that was a surprise. That family can keep a secret because apparently she agreed to that. If you saw my story last night, she agreed to that in November. And then they made it public with her Twitter announcement. She'll come in as a walk-on, a very talented walk-on. And agreeing to do that is a very unselfish move by Edie because she had plenty of other offers, full ride scholarship offers, and her dream was to be at Tennessee. So shout out to Edie Darby and the Darby family for sending both of their children now to Tennessee. Edie is class of 2022, so she will enroll this summer. She will play next year, and that gives Tennessee so far a signing class, at least out of high school, at 2022 of Justine Passat and Edie Darby. Michael Seabrook said that pass to Jordy was huge. Michael, I agree. I mean, I don't know how she came out of there with that offensive rebound. I saw the ball go up. I saw Tamari and Ray going every which way, probably getting fouled. And then all of a sudden I see Tess just dart to the lane, come out with it, and somehow manage to find Jordan Horston. Just a heads up play. That's just staying aware of what's happening on the court, not standing and watching the ball. Karen said, I loved how we hit the glass. Yes, that's Tennessee identity. Crash the glass as hard as you can, hunker down and play some defense. They got back to that tonight. Mark Painter said, very active. Kathy said, Sarah is awesome. Can't wait to see her growth over the next 3 years. I agree, because she's just tapping into this as a freshman. And look, you just look at how much better she can be down the road. Denise said number 6 Michigan took down number 5 Indiana by 15. It is you just never know. You just line up on the court and see what happens in these games. That's obviously a Big Ten matchup. Amanda said refs were less than desirable. I would call that incredibly charitable, Amanda. That is a interesting way to put it and a correct way to put it. The one of them was really challenged. That last foul on Sarah where the player just fell into Sarah and Sarah gets caught for the foul. Donna says, hello, Harrison. Hello, Donna. Don McCord said Walker locked Ramirez up second half, only 6 points. Yeah, Walker just Velcroed herself to her, and that is hard to do. And Jordan Walker went. How many minutes did Jordan Walker end up playing? 27 minutes. She was able to get. Brooklyn Miles was able to come in 12 minutes and relieve Jordan Walker, and that helped a lot because Jordan had to. It is hard to play defense like that. Michael said, please tell me Ramirez graduates this year. Michael, I think she's a super senior. I think this is her COVID year. I think Ramirez is going to have to move on after this, and I think every SEC team will be glad to see her go. Terry said, I loved how we got the lead in the fourth quarter, slowed the ball down. Yes, they showed that poise on offense. You don't have to try to make up that. In the third quarter at times, it looked like they were trying to make up the entire deficit on one shot. You can't do that. They started really working the ball inside, too, which they needed to do. Karen said, loved your comment on how badly officials are not giving TK the whistles. Yeah, they finally called that one late, and Tamari finished that and one play. Then, of course, Arkansas comes back to tie it. This was not a game for the faint of heart. Dwayne said that was a nail-biter. Crowd was loud. Donna pointed that out. SEC tourney can be anyone. Terry Joseph Tull said, tough. I agree. Everybody get yourself to Nashville if you can. That's going to be one heck of a tournament. Bobby Bell said, I'm so proud of our team. They never quit. Credence is still mad at the refs. I agree. Jessica said, tough game. I feel bad for how TK gets mauled. They don't call the fouls. Yes, I agree. She has to keep fighting through it. Lationi, 2009. Puckett is really learning how to back TK up in the post. So excited to get her more opportunity there. I think she'll adjust to make the offense even more dynamic with her range. That's a good point because Sarah can also extend to the arc. So you got to follow her out there. Sarah lined up, I think, today at the 3, 4, and the 5. Sarah played just about every position she could right there. Colleen said, she's listed as a red shot senior. Not sure. Oh, she may not. Maybe there's another one that has an extra year. I'm thinking of Georgia having the 2 super seniors. She may have another year. Lord have mercy. Lord help all the SEC teams. Wayne said Jordan Walker does not get the credit she deserves. She is clutch, and she has proven it over and over again. I agree. She hit a couple threes that were just Jordan, she hit one. She was 1 of 4, but that one she hit was a boom shot. Jessica thought TK was the difference in the second half. Yes, she did. She had to fight through it. You aren't getting any calls, and you got to keep playing. Tamari Key went 37 minutes. That is a lot of minutes in the post because you got a long way to run. Karen says, will the refs be reviewed at the end of the year? They're always reviewed, and nothing changes. I could say that for 25 years. So the answer is yes, and will it change? The answer is no. Jordan Horsted's stats this season are awesome. They are. She was during the game, they put out the wooden watch list for mid-season, 20 players. Jordan Horsted is on it. That is incredibly well-deserved. I think if she wasn't on it, I was going to ask what the heck they were looking at. So that was just an absolutely incredible performance by everyone. It's a team win, and that's what you need. Alexis says she is tired. She fell asleep. It's a good time to be asleep. She said, great win for the ladies to pull it out. She wants to find ways to embarrass teams consistently and not just squeak back. All right, Alexis, I know you're not listening, but Arkansas's won 4 out of their last 5. They put up 100 points against an SEC team, 90 in another game, 89 in another. This was not a team you were going to embarrass. Absolutely not. Not this Arkansas team, but Alexis says, most importantly, we bounced back from the Auburn loss with a win, so we're getting back in the right direction. Alexis says it was a long and productive day for her, and she's exhausted and needs to rest. And I'm going to tell her back, rest. But I will tell her, you want to embarrass some teams, but you're not going to do it to Arkansas. I'm not sure there's anybody left in the SEC to do it to. South Carolina won by 12 the other night. I think they had another game where they won bigger than that. I think Ole Miss game. This league, there's just too many good athletes, too many good shooters, too many strange official calls. It's hard to right now to really run away from with the team or run away from them or do something. I don't know how to phrase that. I'm tired too. Dwayne said they just crushed LSU in their last game. Arkansas was no joke. I agree, and Arkansas is a very good team. Kathy said Florida will be tough as well. Kathy, I agree. That's another team that's hitting its stride, much like Arkansas. Struggled a bit early and now looks very, very good. And they will be laying in wait. Arkansas, I believe they were. I need to look. I think they were off this week, so they haven't played since Thursday. So they will be a week off, and Tennessee will be going in there absolutely exhausted. They will have light practice Tuesday, then they got to travel Wednesday, do a prep scout, get right back on the court. Mark said, what do you think of the matchup with Florida? Seems like they're catching fire. Mark, I agree. There's nothing going to be easy about that Florida game. Nothing. That is another one where Tennessee's got to steal a win on the road. Tennessee is obviously now 19-2 and 8-1 in the SEC. So they are still sitting atop, tied for first. South Carolina also has one loss in the league. So, and South Carolina's 8-1. So you're tied with South Carolina. I think if anybody had told us you will be tied with South Carolina 9 games into the SEC season, you would have taken it back in October. Trish Hepner said, talk to Brenda Van Lingen post-game. She's working on a documentary, ifnotforthem.com. Thank you for posting this, Trish. Said she had a special Pat story from international play at Mexico. It's about the forgotten women who changed the world through love of sport. Check it out. I agree. Ifnotforthem.com is the see if I can get this thing up there. There it is. Ifnotforthem.com. Be sure and go look at that when you guys get a chance. There's some stories and video clips and interviews and really good information on there. On that site. Tanya pointed out Key was 8 of 9 from the line, made them at crucial time, especially in overtime. I agree. That is a heck of a stat line for a post. Kathy said not a bad record and better than most would have expected. Wherever Denise is, I think in Indiana, she will probably be snowed in. They are literally saying up to 2 feet of snow. Okay, keep that up in Indiana. I like some snow, but not that much. Let's see. Jessica said, I ran into her too. She said she has some good interviews lined up for the spring. Tony said, oh my God, I think I drank all the Pinot tonight. You just have to get some more, Tony, because they play again Thursday. So go stock up. But I agree with pretty much what everyone is saying. I may have missed some, but I pretty much agree with y'all. Colleen said the rest of our schedule will be brutal. Yep. You go to Florida, you come home for 1 day, fly back from Gainesville. Go to class, practice a little bit, fly to Connecticut Saturday, play Connecticut at noon, fly back, and then you got to host Missouri. Yeah, February is that's why another reason this win was so important, because you want to go into February with some momentum, because February is when everybody's tired, everybody's nicked up, injured. Michaela Daniels obviously did not come back to the game. That is a key player for Arkansas. I hope she is all right. That was one heck of a collision down on the other end. I think Sarah and Michaela were hustling after a loose ball and crashed into the sideline, Tennessee's bench. So I hope she's okay. Never want to see any player injured. I did run into Kean Green. She was leaving the arena as I was coming out of the media room, and she's in great spirits. Just a genuine positive, optimistic, kind-hearted person. Said she's doing all she can to help the team and keeping her head up and keeping a positive outlook. So, I mean, shout out to Kean Green. She's obviously got surgery ahead and rehab and has got to deal with that rehab again. She this last time she didn't know what she was getting into. This time she does. So I don't know if that helps or hurts. You know how hard it's going to be, but she also knows she can do it. Dwayne says the Connecticut game going to be televised. I've not seen it posted yet. Dwayne, it is. They're a Fox affiliate. I think it's on Fox Sports or Connecticut's. Their contract is not ESPN or SEC Network, or obviously like Tennessee has, or any of the conference networks. So it is going to be on one of the Fox Sports networks. So you look for it there if you have that. Kathy said Kean surgery tomorrow is what they said on TV. She did mention that. I wasn't sure it was out yet. So thank you, Kathy. I didn't want to reveal what she said, but she mentioned on the way out that her surgery would be tomorrow. And now that you told me it's on TV, I feel comfortable saying what she said. I try to be very respectful of players' health matters if they don't want it public, but since it's out there, just wish her the best in that surgery tomorrow and her subsequent rehab. Amanda said the regular Fox station is UConn. Okay, so go to Fox Sports and Fox and the Fox Network and find your UConn game at noon. A couple other really good numbers: 19 assists for Tennessee, 16 turnovers, and that's a very manageable number. A couple were, in my opinion, very questionable offensive foul calls on Alexis Dye and Tamari Key. A couple others were when you tie the ball up on a jump ball, you end up getting a turnover sometimes, so manageable there. 7 blocks, 4 by Tamari Key, 4 steals. Shout out to the double Jordans. Jordan Walker and Jordan Horston accounted for 12 of Tennessee's 19 assists, 6 apiece. That's a heck of a stat line. Jordan Walker, 24 points, 11 boards. Double-double. Sarah Puckett mentioned had a double-double. Tamari Key, 14 and 9, almost a double-double. Jordan Walker looks like Jordan Walker had, make sure I read the right line, pair of 8s with the 6 assists. She had 8 points and 8 rebounds. And just like we mentioned, the lockdown defense on Amber Ramirez, and she's a crafty player. Amber is not easy to guard. So Ray Burrell, 21 points and 8 boards. That was about as crash the glass. Y'all know all that. Glenda said, please get updates on Green ASAP after surgery. Glenda, as soon as something gets released, we will. Half the time now, the kids put it up on their social media, so keep an eye on that. Jackie Durr said, check those stats out. Now, that's called a team effort. Exactly what it was. Michael wanted to know the free throw stats. Oh, this is really good, Michael. They are 15 to 20 from the line. 75%. You'll take that every day of the week. Tennessee ended up taking 23 three-pointers. That's probably the most they've taken in a while, made 7 of them. I still can't get over Arkansas taking 40 three-pointers. Of their 76 field goals, 40 came from the arc. Made 12 of them. So they still hit 30% of their threes. That is a hard team to guard. I've often said that Tennessee is a team that is the sum of its parts, and that has definitely stayed true this season. A huge part was taken away from this team with the injury to Keon Green. They were obviously still adjusting to it against Auburn, and were not able to close that game out with the usual fire and confidence they have. Sarah Puckett is elevated, obviously, her role here to help fill that what Keon lost, what they lose by not having Keon. But like I said, Tennessee is the sum of its parts. It is truly a team effort and a team win, and when they lose, it's a team loss. Somebody asked the turnovers. There were 16 turnovers. Like I said, a very manageable number, particularly when you see, some are the offensive charges, which is not a live ball turnover, and others were jump ball possession, where you get assessed a turnover, also not a live ball turnover. That's what you want because you got time to set the defense. It's not a steal and in the open court and away you go. I imagine when Arkansas got that steal and bucket to tie the game in overtime, everybody was like, oh my God, here it goes again. But Tennessee prevailed and won a game they needed to win and proved to themselves that they can win again. Without Keon, they can adjust and bounce back. Goodness, it's almost 11 o'clock here. I have got to get some video up. Credence said I want Caroline some minutes. I believe Strickland is working on it in practice. I got to watch a little bit of practice yesterday. It's the hardest. She would have to play, in the post more, and it's the hardest position to learn in college. It's the hardest thing to do at this level in the SEC, particularly with the level of post players you go up against. So I think Caroline's got a great disposition, and I think she'll earn some time and she'll get better. I have absolutely no doubt. But thank you for everybody for coming. I'll get the videos up. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you would have already got a notification. I believe the players, Arkansas did their own via Zoom, so we couldn't be in that one. We didn't have the Arkansas team post game in the media room, just Tennessee side. So you would have gotten the notification of that, and somebody noticed that I had a few more subscribers, and I appreciate that. If you want to check it out, it is Maria Cornelius on YouTube. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Thank you for being fans. Thank you for being the enthusiastic people that you are and still awake at 10:45 p.m. on a Monday evening. I will definitely be safe going home, get this game story up, and y'all will have something to read in the morning. Don't wait up for it. Go to sleep. Everybody get some rest, and I will see y'all Thursday night, a little bit earlier. It's a 6 o'clock tip, Eastern tip at Florida. I'll see y'all Thursday night after the Florida game, and peace.